Ever since they found out about this, LuoFeng's family sank into pain. However, they were like drowning people desperately grasping onto the last straw, since LuoFeng's death hasn't been confirmed yet. So they waited anxiously. They didn't dare to inform LuoFeng's girlfriend, Su Xin. Time passed day by day. There's no such thing as an airtight wall in this world. Especially since Su Xin is a member of the Su family. After Luo Feng disappeared for 5 months, Su Xin found out about what happened. When she anxiously asked Luo Feng's parents, they could only tell her the truth. Even though it was painful, they were still waiting. Without absolute certainty, they wouldn't give up. In the depths of Archaeological Ruin number 9, in the crystal room of the labyrinth, Luo Feng, who had a face full of beard, lowered his head and looked at his tactical communications watch. 1 year, it's been an entire year. I've been trapped in this archaeological ruin for an entire year. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. With a thought, Luo Feng's formless and powerful spiritual force flew out like dragons and wrapped around the blades. A total of 14 curved blades danced in the air and then turned into 14 flowing lights that fiercely bombarded the crystal wall. Boom. 14 blades, each with over 500,000 kilograms of force, add up to over 7 million kilograms of force. Even an advanced level wargod wearing a black god set would be heavily injured. After a few hits, their organs would probably rupture and they would die from the shock. Rumble, the crystal room also shook for a bit. Still not enough. Over 7 million kilograms of force isn't enough? Keep in mind that a regular, advanced level wargod, for example, can punch 300,000 kilograms with a force amplitude of 3, so the force of one blade would only be around 900,000 kilograms. Luo Feng's force is 8 times his, maybe even more. This kind of strength is far above any advanced level wargod. He can even threaten an existence surpassing the wargod level. However, still not enough. I'll definitely get out. Dad, Mom, Su Xin. Wait for me. Luo Feng closed his eyes. 2 drops of tears couldn't help but to flow down his face. A clear tear stain appeared on his face that was covered in dust. Virtual space in a large conference room. A silver floor, silver walls, and a gigantic silver round table. There were only 6 chairs that were completely black, as if they could even swallow the sunlight. Right now, 5 white-robed men and 1 black-clothed man sat on the 6 black chairs. This is the highest level of the Dojo of Limits, the Round Table Conference. Dojo Master Hong and the 5 inspectors were all in position. Head, Luo Feng has been in Archaeological Ruin number 9 for an entire year. Even if he didn't understand the language or words back then, Luo Feng has already entered Archaeological Ruin number 9. The longest that could come out alive was at most 7 months. After you understand it, it will take at most 1.5 months, a white man said slowly. Can you confirm it? The black-clothed Hong said indifferently, confirmed Luo Feng's death. The expressions of the 5 inspectors changed slightly. Transfer all of Luo Feng's assets to his family, said the black-clothed man, Hong coldly. Leave that autojet in the dojo. Yes. The 5 investigators complied, but in their hearts, they were amazed at how much Hong cared for Luo Feng's family. For someone like Hong, handling Luo Feng's inheritance is a small matter, but he personally gave the order. Don't be fooled by Hong's order to leave the autojet in the dojo. Keep in mind, Emperor-level autojets are expensive, over 200 billion. No one dared to say anything about Luo Feng using his autojet. But if Luo Feng's family had this autojet, it would be a disaster. And with Hong personally giving the order to transfer his assets, no one would dare to take any money from it. Keep in mind that Luo Feng's inheritance is a huge amount. Sadly, Luo Feng died in Archaeological Ruin number 9, so we can't even hold a memorial for him, sighed Investigator Lu. Investigator Lu let out a sigh. Normally, when a wargod dies, there will be a nationwide live broadcast of the memorial service. At that time, even the country's leaders, fighters, and many wargods will participate, and the entire country will watch the broadcast. However, there won't be a public memorial for the wargod that died in Archaeological Ruin number 9. First of all, to hold a memorial, you have to fake the cause of death. Second of all, in history, the Thunder Dojo once held a memorial for the wargod that stayed in Archaeological Ruin number 9 for 7 months. But who would have thought that he would come out again after 7 months? The person that was publicly declared dead to the entire country came back to life. Isn't that awkward? Ever since that incident, no memorial has been held for the people that died in Archaeological Ruin number 9. Head, we should discuss the new examiner for Jiangnan headquarters city. On September 30, 2058, the Dojo of Limits posted an announcement on their website. News of Wargod Luo Feng's death. Luo Hongguo and Gong Xianlan learned about it on that day. Even though they also received a huge amount of wealth from Luo Feng, Luo Hongguo and Gong Xianlan were still extremely sad. And Su Xin couldn't handle the shock on the day she received the news and directly chose to quit school. She left Jiangnan headquarters city by herself and went to a foreign land. Even though the Su family's family members had ways to find Su Xin, the Su families had strictly ordered. Just let Su Xin be outside and protect her in secret. Don't disturb her. Jiangnan headquarters city, Jiangnan mountain water sector, the villa on top of Huayao Peak. After a year, it welcomed its new owner. Inside the villa. Ha 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 ha, I'm so happy, so happy. As he stood in the villa, Li Yao raised his hands up high. After that, he clenched his fists, took a deep breath, and turned his head to look at his wife, Vanina. the Dojo of Limits finally confirmed LuoFeng's death. However, I wasn't able to personally kill him. Vanina said quietly, no, doesn't he have family too? If he dares to kill our child then we… Yes, Li Yao's eyes seemed to have a terrifying green light. However, his family is still the family of the Dojo of Limits, laughed Li Yao coldly, killing them will only bring bad luck to us. Li Yao laughed coldly, killing them will only bring bad luck to us. The best way is to use secular methods to torture LuoFeng's family. Make them break down and even commit suicide in pain. That way no one can blame it on us. Li Yao looked towards Vanina. No one will stop me from arranging for the HR Alliance's forces this time, right? Last time, when Li Yao wanted to use common methods, he was stopped by the chairman of the HR Alliance's underground conference. LuoFeng is already dead, who cares about a dead person's family? Laughed Vanina unconcernedly. When LuoFeng was here, even the HR Alliance was a bit afraid of him. Now that he's dead, what's there to be afraid of? Then let's begin, smiled Li Yao. I'll arrange it. Our HR Alliance has plenty of psychology masters. Torturing him and mentally breaking them down is a simple matter, smiled Vanina. Mingyue sector. What? My mom fought with someone in Lotus Pond Park and got beaten up? Luohua couldn't believe it, but even if she got beaten up, why would she cry like that? The nanny Chin on the side said, that shrew's words are too harsh. Even I'm furious. But she has quite a few female helpers. Luohua squinted his eyes. Even though LuoFeng is the most dazzling member of the Luo family, Luohua's talent is also shocking, especially in terms of intelligence. Even LuoFeng admits that he's not as smart as his brother. To be able to cause so much trouble in the stock market at such a young age, the stock market is the place that reflects one's personality the most. Back then, the disabled Luohua always fought in the stock market. Now he's definitely an expert in the stock market. However, he's always been overshadowed by LuoFeng. No matter how good he is at making money, he can't make money as fast as LuoFeng. But he's not dumb, he's actually very smart. I've always been afraid of brother's enemy, that Li Yao, coming back. Could it be him? Maybe he's overreacting, but Luohua still doesn't dare to relax. As of now, he's in charge of the tens of billions of assets his brother LuoFeng left behind. He also has a 1,000-year black crow root, spirit of nature, which is said to be priceless. 2 months later. What? Li Yao and Vanina's faces weren't looking too good. There's nothing we can do. That Luo kid Luohua actually hired 6 advanced-level warlords as bodyguards. Usually, when his parents go out, 2 advanced-level warlords follow them. Said a young man respectfully, we don't have the ability to arrange for a powerful wargod fighter to act, so we can't do anything about it. We'll use something soft, but… Luohua is now the 8th shareholder of China's ICBC, so he can use China's special forces to protect his family. Li Yao and Vanina were dumbstruck as they heard this. The ICBC, that's the biggest bank in China, has a market value of nearly 10 trillion. Just the country's finance department and Huijin control over 50% of the shares. And the top 10 shareholders indeed have astonishing power. However, the top 5 shareholders are all powerful forces, not individuals. How did a brat like Luohua become the 8th shareholder of the ICBC? Even if he took out tens of billions, at least someone would be willing to sell that many shares. In the stock market, it's almost impossible to buy so many shares in such a short amount of time. In China, our HR Alliance's power can't compare to the country's special forces. This is their territory, said the young man as he bowed. Fuck off, roared Li Yao. The young man didn't dare to make a sound as he left. Li Yao's face was ugly. I didn't think that this Luo family's LuoFeng would be so hard to deal with, but this normal person named Luohua is also so hard to deal with. How did he become the 8th shareholder of ICBC? Humph, I can't beat your brother. I don't believe that I can't beat you. Luo family. Li Yao's eyes flashed fiercely. When Li Yao started to use all sorts of methods to deal with the Luo family. December 26, 2058, which is around 1 year and 3 months after LuoFeng was trapped in the crystal room. In the labyrinth, the crystal room was transparent and beautiful. However, it was even tougher than the scales of an emperor-level monster. It trapped LuoFeng for 1 year and 3 months. Boom. With a roar, streams of light broke through the crystal room's walls and shot out. A black, tall and large figure excitedly walked out. I'm finally out. I'm finally out. After 1 year and 3 months of hard work, he finally broke through this crystal room. The crystal room that had a huge hole in the wall suddenly let out a chi-chi sound. After that, it completely transformed into a dreamy light and merged into the dark brown tree roots on the ground. XXXXX. A familiar sound rang in the maze. 1 year and 3 months, I finally hear this sound again. LuoFeng lowered his head and looked at the tactical communications watch on his wrist. The tactical communications watch quickly translated the words. Congratulations, you've completed the death mission. Please follow the path in front of you and keep moving forward. Come see me and receive your reward for completing the mission. While the voice was still echoing, the dark brown tree root wall in front of LuoFeng actually swiftly moved aside, forming a 3 to 4 m wide pathway. The pathway was deep, and at the end was a hallucinatory light. That light was the same light that formed the crystal wall. I finally succeeded. Should I receive my reward? LuoFeng turned his head and put on his bag. After that, the soaring shuttle flew up. Go! With a leap, he landed on the soaring shuttle. Whoosh! The soaring shuttle swiftly flew along the path. After passing through the dark path, he quickly arrived at a palace that was covered in a dreamy light. This was a beautiful palace that seemed like the home of a god. The dreamy light flowed around without dissipating. This palace itself was a few dozen meters long and wide, as if it was the size of a gymnasium. See it? Where is it? LuoFeng looked around. It was completely empty. Suddenly, a large amount of light gathered and swiftly formed a blurry, tall human figure. After that, it solidified and became a bald crystal person. Light gathered into a person? LuoFeng was a bit nervous. Everything that happened in the archaeological ruin has already surpassed the technology of humans on Earth. Even a powerful martial artist was not worth mentioning in front of these ancient civilization ruins. Naturally, in front of this crystal person, LuoFeng couldn't help but be nervous. XXXXX, the bald crystal person smiled as he said. Its face was extremely delicate. If it was a human, it would be a very beautiful human. The tactical communications watch on LuoFeng's wrist immediately translated. Hello, LuoFeng. The bald crystal person glanced at the tactical communications watch. Suddenly, a beam of light from the palace instantly shot into the tactical communications watch. LuoFeng couldn't help but to be shocked. The tactical communications watch's screen was rapidly displaying the operation process. This bald crystal person, of the archaeological ruin, was actually deleting large amounts of translated information from the tactical communications watch. Don't be nervous, a slightly metallic voice came from the bald crystal person's mouth. Chinese? LuoFeng was shocked as he looked at the person in front of him. Don't be surprised. I'm monitoring the development of humans on this planet. Your language, culture, and history are all being monitored. Of course, I understand your language, the bald crystal person said with a smile. In order for you to accept it, I'll talk to you in my human form. LuoFeng calmed down. Yes, this ancient civilization had existed for countless years, so it was not strange for them to know the development of Earth like the back of their hands. The technology of you humans is still in its infancy. The bald crystal person continued, I know everything about you guys. That's why I can call out your name, LuoFeng. I called out to you once when you first entered this place. LuoFeng was shocked. Yeah, 1 year and 3 months ago when the death mission started, it called him Elite Student LuoFeng. At that time he thought it was because of the translation software, but now it seems like the archaeological ruin did indeed know his name. Because you activated the death mission, I will directly call you by your name, the bald crystal person said. If you fail the test you will definitely die. I will not leak this information. If you succeed, you will have the right to enter Yunemo planet and become a member of Yunemo planet. You will also know that I'm monitoring this planet. Yunemo planet? LuoFeng froze. The bald crystal person slightly shook his head. Even if you know, it's the same as not knowing. Now, I'll give you your reward for completing the mission. The bald crystal person waved her hand, and a few items from the depths of the palace flew over with a ray of colorful light. There was a total of 4 items. A black vest, a silver arm guard, a book that glowed with specks of starlight, and a hexagonal metal plate. These 4 items floated in front of the bald crystal person. This first item is what you guys call the Black God set. The bald crystal person pointed at the black vest. The second item, this silver arm guard, is a mini quantum computer. The third item is a manipulator's attack technique. The fourth item is the token to enter Yunemo planet. The bald crystal person stroked the last hexagonal metal plate. There were 2 complicated words on it. He sighed. I did this according to Master's procedure. Unfortunately, even if you obtain the Yunemo planet token, you won't be able to get Yunemo planet's people to pick you up and let you enter Yunemo planet. Why? LuoFeng's mind was in a mess. What is this Yunemo planet? Yunemo planet is a mysterious place in the vast universe. The bald crystal person looked at LuoFeng. Unfortunately, I can't contact Yunemo planet anymore. You can't use the token to contact Yunemo planet either. According to the procedure of this base, I have to give you this token. However, you won't be able to use it anyway. LuoFeng was shocked. From the sounds of it, this Yunemo planet should be a mysterious and powerful force in the universe. A long time ago, this ancient civilization ruin was built here to monitor everything on Earth. Usually, only the elite members have the right to enter Yunemo planet. However, it seems like this archaeological ruin can't contact Yunemo planet anymore. Yunemo planet probably met with a disaster. Or perhaps it was destroyed. No matter how strong and mysterious a power was, it would be hard for it to exist forever. The ruins were undamaged and could not be contacted. Of course, there was something wrong with the Yunemo planet. The Yunemo token is useless. You already know the use of the Black God set. And this AI is something that every genetic martial artist and spirit reader would want. It will be of great use to you. Apart from all the functions of your communication watch, it also has many other functions. The most important one is to test the target's strength. Test my strength. LuoFeng was shocked. Wear it, said the bald crystal person, and use your spiritual force to permeate it. As he said that, the silver arm guard flew towards LuoFeng. Yes. LuoFeng first took off the original bracer on his left arm and put on the silver bracer. When a strand of spiritual force seeped into it, the silver bracer quickly fused with his skin. On the surface of the silver bracer, large amounts of pictures and words appeared. They were all in Chinese. The AI also has a translation function. The translation software on your tactical communications watch translates a lot of information that will leak the secrets of this place. Therefore, I have already deleted a lot of information that is related to this from your tactical communications watch, including the manipulator's secret knowledge basic 312 style. LuoFeng nodded. So what if I delete it? What's there to be afraid of? He trained hard for a year and 3 months and practiced who knows how many times, so he memorized the fundamental 312 forms a long time ago. Press the button on the bottom left of the AI, and point it at someone to test their strength, said the bald crystal person. And you can also control it with your voice. LuoFeng lowered his head and looked. The so-called button on the bottom left was actually a smooth surface of the mini quantum computer. There were only a few markings on the edges that formed the buttons. LuoFeng slightly pressed the button on the bottom left and pointed the mini quantum computer towards himself. Suddenly, words appeared on the surface of the mini quantum computer. Battle strength, spiritual force student level 9, genetic energy student level 9. What's a student level 9? LuoFeng looked towards the bald crystal person. Your identity is already on Yun-Mo planet, so you have the right to know this information, said the bald crystal person. In the vast and limitless universe, countless life forms have been born. Most of the life forms are at the student level. The so-called student level, in the words of you people on Earth, means ordinary. LuoFeng froze. Ordinary? I'm considered unimportant? An ordinary person? The student level is split into 9 stages. The first stage is the lowest and the 9th stage is the highest. The first stage is equivalent to your so-called beginner warrior, and the 9th stage is equivalent to an advanced level wargod. The bald crystal person smiled. The strongest person on your planet, Hong, has inherited some of the ancient civilization's technology, so he knows that there are 9 stages. He probably thought that these 9 stages were too ugly, so he called them warrior, warlord, and wargod. However, he didn't know that in the vast universe, these stages are called student. LuoFeng took in a deep breath. Above the student level is the Star Traveler level. Only those who reach the Star Traveler level have the right to be called genetic fighter or spirit reader. Those who don't reach the Star Traveler level are just students. They don't have the right to be called genetic fighter or spirit reader. The bald crystal person's words made LuoFeng speechless. He's called an invincible wargod, but he doesn't even have the right to be called a spirit reader. The Star Traveler level is also split into 9 stages. On your Earth, existences surpassing the wargod level are the Star Traveler level fighters, said the bald crystal person. LuoFeng realized, so the high and mighty representatives are all Star Traveler level fighters. Once you become a Star Traveler level fighter, you can at least fill your stomach and have a foothold in the universe. The bald crystal person laughed. However, your Earth doesn't have the technology to allow you to wander the universe. How strong are they? Asked LuoFeng. How strong are they? LuoFeng was curious. How strong are the existences surpassing the wargod level on Earth, as well as Hong and Thunder God? Most of them are at the Star Traveler level 1 stage and a few are at the Star Traveler level 2 stage. 2 of them are at the Star Traveler level 3 stage. Said the bald crystal person, the strongest, Hong, is at the Star Traveler level 6 stage while Thunder God is at the Star Traveler level 7 stage. The 2 of them are much stronger than the others. Hong is at the Star Traveler level 6 stage? And Thunder God is at the Star Traveler level 7 stage? That can't be right. Hong should be stronger than Thunder God, LuoFeng couldn't help but to say. The levels I'm talking about are their bodies, genetic energy and spiritual force. Not their true battle strength, said the bald crystal person. Hong's body fitness level and genetic energy are indeed weaker than Thunder God's by a bit. However, true battle strength isn't just based on body and genetic energy. Like you. The bald crystal person looked at LuoFeng. Your spiritual force level is at the student level 9 stage. However, your battle strength is 16 times. Your genetic energy level is at the student level 9 stage, so your battle strength is 3.5 times. As of now, LuoFeng can control 16 blades at the same time and unleash his strongest battle strength. We're both at the student level 9 stage, but a battle strength of 2 times is the same as a battle strength of 10 times. The bald crystal person looked at LuoFeng. LuoFeng's heart jumped. Right. The quantum computer only tested the basics of his body. When he first arrived, his spiritual force could control 6 throwing knives. Now he can control 16. The difference in strength is huge, but he was still at the student level 9 stage during the test. Student level 9, battle strength 16 times. Equivalent to the Star Traveler level 1 stage, battle strength 4 times, said the bald crystal person. A regular Star Traveler level fighter can unleash 3 to 4 times of their strength. So your current battle strength is comparable to a regular Star Traveler level 1 stage. In other words, an existence surpassing the wargod level. The bald crystal person pointed at the starry instruction manual floating in front of him. However, you still have a manipulator's attack technique, Soaring Sky. This Soaring Sky is how to use a manipulator's weapon, the Soaring Shuttle. You didn't even know how to use the Soaring Shuttle in the past and actually used it like a normal throwing knife. You've really insulted this manipulator's weapon. What's a manipulator? Asked LuoFeng. The powerful fighters of the universe are mainly divided into genetic fighters and spirit readers. These are 2 main categories. Genetic fighters can be divided into a few categories, and spirit readers can also be divided into a few categories. You're the manipulator of the spirit readers. In your words, you walk the path of controlling objects, LuoFeng realized. LuoFeng realized, it seemed like the universe had already formed a perfect system for training. Star Traveler level spirit readers all crave for a spirit weapon. Who would have thought that you would get one, said the bald crystal person. So you're very lucky. Even though that Hong recognized the treasure, he's not a spirit reader and doesn't know how to use the soaring shuttle. That's why he gave it to you. LuoFeng was secretly happy. No wonder Hong didn't want to part with it. He purposely gave it a low price of 30 stars. Even Star Traveler level spirit readers crave for a spirit weapon like this, and LuoFeng actually got one. Without a weapon, how much of my strength can I use? And you have the soaring shuttle. Combined with this instruction manual Soaring Sky, you can truly unleash the full potential of the soaring shuttle. Without the soaring shuttle and instruction manual, your battle strength is comparable to a Star Traveler level 1. But with them you'll be like a tiger with wings and your strength will increase greatly. As for how much you can use, that will depend on how well you can use the soaring shuttle, said the bald crystal person. LuoFeng's heart rate sped up. Even though he hasn't broken through to the Star Traveler level with his powerful battle strength, soaring shuttle, and soaring sky instruction manual, most existences surpassing the Wargod level aren't his opponents. Normally, if you can control 12 hidden weapons and unleash their full power, you can break through to the Star Traveler level. However, your talent is very high. Your brain is at 21, so your limit is also higher than normal people. You have to control 16 hidden weapons before you have a chance to break through, said the bald crystal person. You can break through at any time. I've left a method of breaking through in the mini quantum computer. Go back and read it carefully. LuoFeng was excited. No wonder the crystal house was set to require 16 throwing knives to break through. Turns out that as long as he reaches this level, he can break through to this Star Traveler level, at any time. You're the first member of Earth's UNMO planet in 5,000 years, said the bald crystal person. So you can't be arrogant. The bald crystal person said, therefore you cannot be arrogant. In terms of battle prowess, Hong is much stronger than you. In terms of realm, he already has his own domain. Within the planetary state, he's invincible. As the first member of UNMO planet in 5,000 years, even though you can't enter UNMO planet anymore, I still hope that you can surpass them and become the strongest fighter. The bald crystal person looked at LuoFeng. The bald crystal man was the core AI that controlled the entire archaeological ruin. This wasn't Hong's AI, but a true AI with human intelligence. It even had a bit of human emotions. Its most basic program was to be loyal to UNMO planet, so it recognized itself as a member of UNMO planet. UNMO planet was the headquarters of a powerful force. Only those with true talent, perseverance, and comprehension could enter. Otherwise, even Star Traveler level fighters wouldn't have the right to enter. LuoFeng's talent was high. To be able to complete the exam in 1 year and 3 months meant that he had perseverance and comprehension. Only such a talent had the right to enter UNMO planet. It was a pity that UNMO planet had a huge problem. After so many years of not being able to contact the core AI, it could guess that UNMO planet was in trouble. However, it was an AI, so it had to follow its basic program and continue its mission on Earth year after year. It was rare to have a member of UNMO planet, so its weak emotions hoped that LuoFeng would surpass everyone else on Earth. Okay, I will work hard. LuoFeng nodded. I wonder if there are any Star Traveler level and above? Of course there are. Star Traveler level fighters, when roaming the universe, can only survive. The bald crystal man said, above the Star Traveler level is the star level. Star level fighters are also split into 9 levels. And above the star level is the universe level. Star Traveler level, star level, universe level. LuoFeng memorized them. Star Traveler level fighters can fly within planets. Star level fighters, to you Earthlings, have the power to destroy the heavens and Earth. They can fly into space but only for short distances. They can't survive in space for long periods of time. Universe-level fighters, their bodies can roam in space. Every one of them is a true warrior. To you Earthlings, universe-level fighters are gods that you can't fight against. Even Hong and Thunder God are like ants in front of them. Just a breath of air from them can create a shockwave that can kill Hong. They can battle with interstellar fleets in space. Every one of them is very powerful. To be able to reach the universe level means that you've stepped into the ranks of the universe's strongest. The bald crystal man laughed. Of course, you've only just stepped into the ranks of the universe's strongest. If one is willing to enjoy life, a universe-level warrior can easily own tens of planets and territories, countless beauties, authority and servants. However, those above the universe level are existences that can intimidate many countries in the universe, said the bald crystal person. LuoFeng held his breath. Countless life forms in the universe are at the apprentice level. Planet levels barely have enough to eat and wear, star levels are considered powerful. A universe level was indeed an impressive figure. Only one out of countless planets could produce such a universe level. And above the universe level there were even fewer. Even many countries in the universe have to revere them, the bald crystal person said. LuoFeng was extremely shocked. Countless planets only produced one universe level warrior? The rarity of the universe levels was obvious. It seemed like Earth wasn't that bad after all. Work hard, LuoFeng. There is hope for you to reach the star level. If you work hard, have luck, meet a great teacher, etc., you still have a sliver of hope to reach the universe level, said the bald crystal person. LuoFeng didn't know to laugh or cry. Does this AI know how to comfort people? He had to work hard, be lucky, have a good teacher, etc. Only then would he have a sliver of hope. It was basically saying, LuoFeng, you have a 1 in a billion chance of reaching the universe level. Actually, the bald crystal person couldn't be blamed. Countless planets only produced one universe-level warrior. Even though LuoFeng's talent was high in the vast universe, the number of life forms was incalculable. There were trillions of people with more talent than LuoFeng, and even more perseverance than LuoFeng. To reach the universe level? The chances were indeed very, very low. That was an existence that could fight with interstellar battleships. Incomparably strong. How is this encouragement? It's a blow to my confidence. LuoFeng said helplessly. Go on. Earth is your home. Work hard, and if one day you will be able to reach the Earth. If one day this place is discovered by a few countries in the universe, the stronger you become, the better off you will be in the future, even helping your home country. After saying that, the bald crystal person dissipated, becoming countless beams of light. The pathway has been opened, you can leave and return home. Return home. LuoFeng's heart pounded. The walls of the palace wriggled, forming a pathway with large amounts of dark brown tree roots. At the end of the pathway was a mirror that was emitting light. Back then he stepped into the mirror and entered the archaeological ruins. I can finally go back. Mom, Dad, Suxin. LuoFeng put the soaring shuttle and other items into his backpack and then walked along the pathway towards the mirror. After that he stepped out of the mirror. Archaeological Ruin Number 9 Underground Base. This base was built by all the forces on Earth. Whether it's the 5 great countries, the 2 dojos, or the HR Alliance, they all have the right to send people into Archaeological Ruin Number 9. Many of the members here came from different forces. Zhang Qian, who was wearing a white robe, stretched in front of the computer. How boring. Sigh, this novel hasn't been updated yet. The members of this underground base indeed didn't have much to do. Other than the normal operations of the base, they were receiving wargods and contacting their own forces. Other than a few laptops for work, there were also many entertainment computers here. I can get off work after playing some games. Zhang Qian suddenly froze. Crack, crack, crack. Zhang Qian fiercely turned her head. Close to 100 members in the entire base's lobby all turned their heads towards that door. That was the door to Archaeological Ruin Number 9. If it wasn't opened by someone, then unless a wargod walked out, the door sensing system would automatically open the door. Someone came out? That can't be right. This year's batch of wargods all came out 2 months ago. A batch of wargods was indeed sent in on September 29, 2058. However, the latest one came out on October 25th. Right now, it's already December 26th. Ever since the translation software came out, no one has been able to stay in there for 3 months before coming out. Damn, someone stayed in there for 3 months before coming out. Onji. Holy God. All of the workers stood up and looked towards the slowly opening door. They wanted to see which wargod was able to stay in there for 3 months before coming out. Half of the tunnel was already opened and a completely black person walked out with large strides. This is a black person? Everyone froze as they looked at the person in front of them. The person in front of them had a big beard and was dirty. At first glance they really did think that he was a black person. A light swept across LuoFeng. Welcome back, Wargod Luo Feng. An electronic sound came from the underground base's control system. LuoFeng. It's LuoFeng. Holy 1 year and 3 months. LuoFeng's still alive. The entire lobby was in an uproar. Back then LuoFeng's death caused a huge commotion. Even the head of the Dojo of Limits, Hong, placed great importance on this matter. Many people didn't believe that LuoFeng would die. However, who would have thought that after 1 year and 3 months, LuoFeng would come out of the archaeological ruin? Welcome, Wargod Luo Feng. Someone immediately came up to greet him. However, most of the people in the lobby went into a frenzy. Holy. He was actually able to stay in Archaeological Ruin Number 9 for 1 year and 3 months before coming out. Ever since the translation software came out, the longest time anyone stayed was 1.5 months. How could this happen? Report, LuoFeng has returned. Report, China's Wargod Luo Feng has returned. Many members in the underground base immediately carried out their duties and started to inform their own organizations of this news. This is definitely an earth-shattering piece of news. The absolute genius back then, an invincible wargod. He unbelievably stayed in the archaeological ruin for 1 year and 3 months. Dojo of Limits world headquarters inside the gigantic spaceship. In the spacious room on the top floor. The black-clothed man Hong held a spear in his hand. He closed his eyes and silently stood there. After that, he slowly started to perform one technique after another. The speed of his technique was extremely slow, but the strange thing was that the surrounding space seemed to be warped. The spear became blurry and couldn't be seen clearly. Bang bang bang, an anxious knocking sound came from the outside. The black-clothed man Hong slightly frowned. No one is allowed to disturb him while he's training. Only the 5 great investigators and 3 royal guards can come to his place at this time. Others don't have the authority to come here. However, none of the 8 people under him are idiots. Unless something extremely important happens, they won't disturb him. Come in, the black-clothed man Hong coldly said. The door automatically opened. 3 people actually walked in from outside. They were the 2 bodyguards wearing black robes and golden masks as well as Inspector Liu. What's up? Hong was shocked. Surprisingly, there were 3 people who came together. Head Investigator Liu had a bit of excitement on his face as he said, LuoFeng came out. What? Hong froze. The tall and sturdy royal guard on the side said quietly, Head LuoFeng, who stayed in Archaeological Ruin Number 9 for 1 year and 3 months, came out alive. Even Hong was a bit shocked. That's unbelievable. 1 year and 3 months. And he stayed in an archaeological ruin that even he doesn't understand. LuoFeng must have some special gains for such a long time. Let's go now. I'll personally go and welcome our dojo's Wargod Luo Feng. The black-clothed man Hong let out a happy smile. The 5 great countries, the 2 great dojos, and the HR Alliance received this news at practically the same time. All the powers were shocked. The archaeological ruin is something that Earth's technology can't understand. Luo Feng actually stayed in there for a year and 3 months with the help of the translation software. There must be some special circumstances. Jiangnan Headquarters City, Jiangnan Mountain Water Sector. Inside the villa on top of Huayao Peak. Luo Hua, you sure are powerful. You can even keep your dad alive like this. Li Yao sat on the sofa and held a glass of red wine as his eyes flashed with a fierce light. Whoosh! A silhouette charged into the lobby like lightning. It was Vanina, who had long golden hair. What's the rush? Li Yao frowned as he took a sip of the red wine and closed his eyes in enjoyment. LuoFeng's back. Vanina hurriedly said, he came out of Archaeological Ruin number 9. Li Yao, who was originally enjoying himself with his eyes closed, widened his eyes in disbelief. The wine glass in his hand slipped from his fingers. Bah! It smashed onto the ground and shattered. The red wine spilled all over the ground like fresh blood. Humanity's underground base beside Archaeological Ruin number 9. Wargod Luo Feng, here are some clean clothes. Wargod Luo Feng, do you need anything else? The black Luo Feng glanced at the 2 girls at the door and waved his hand. No need. With a puff sound he closed the door. I haven't had a proper bath in a year and 3 months. Luo Feng swiftly took off his battle uniform and clothes, rushed to the bathroom and entered the bathtub. The hot water in the bathtub was continuously flowing. After Luo Feng entered, the water in the bathtub swiftly turned black. There's no helping it, the water in the ruins can only be used for drinking. Want to take a bath? Dream on. Luo Feng laid in the bathtub as the hot water washed his body. He couldn't help but use his mini quantum computer to make a call. The mini quantum computer already copied all the phone numbers in his tactical communications watch. It's been a year, I wonder how mom and dad are doing. Are they okay? Actually, Luo Feng wanted to make a call as soon as he left the archaeological ruin. However, he was surrounded by a large amount of workers at the base, so he could only find a room to take a bath first. The call connected. Jiangnan Headquarters City, Yangzhou City, Mingyue Sector. In a quiet room. Luo Hongguo was laying on the bed with a pale face. There was a 4 beside him, clearly on 4. There were 2 nurses in the room. It's Luo Feng, it's Luo Feng. The phone rang. Luo Hongguo, who originally had his eyes closed with a pale face, instantly opened his eyes wide. He fiercely turned his head and looked at the phone on the bedside table. Without thinking too much, Luo Hongguo tried his best to flip over and grab the phone with his left hand. This scene scared the 2 nurses. One of them said, Mr. Luo, you can't move your waist, let me do it. No problem. As if Luo Hongguo had infinite strength, his waist hurt as if it was someone else's waist, and he swiftly grabbed the phone. Looking at the display, Luo Hongguo couldn't believe it. It's really Feng. Who's calling? Is it Feng? Keep in mind that the Dojo of Limits already confirmed LuoFeng's death. LuoFeng's parents didn't know that Luo Feng was in Archaeological Ruin number 9, so they always thought that the Dojo of Limits had 100% proof of his death. After taking a deep breath, Luo Hongguo answered. Beep. Hey. Luo Hongguo's voice was hoarse, low, and carried a trace of nervousness as well as a trace of anticipation. It was like holding a piece of tofu, worried that it would break at any moment. Dad, it's me. That voice full of vigor and strength, that voice that had resounded countless times in Luo Hongguo's dreams, that voice that he couldn't be more familiar with, made Luo Hongguo's eyes widen instantly. Luo Hongguo's hands trembled. It's Little Feng, is that you? It's me, Dad, said Luo Feng. Why aren't you video calling me? Let me see you. Luo Hongguo hastily said. He was afraid that someone was deliberately teasing him. After all, with the current technology, it was not difficult to imitate a person's voice. Dad, I'm showering and I have a big beard on my face. Luo Feng was a bit embarrassed. Beep. The video started. Luo Hongguo stared at the phone screen carefully. In the faint heat of the bathroom, there was a figure with long wet hair and a big beard. However, the shape of the face, especially the eyes, made Luo Hongguo's eyes light up. In the video, a blade flew up and swiftly scraped across Luo Feng's face. The big beard was swiftly shaved off and a handsome young man appeared. Was Luo Feng, the son that Luo Hongguo raised for 20 years. Little Feng, you didn't die. Great, Luo Hongguo's eyes were filled with tears. Luo Hongguo's eyes suddenly became moist. During this period of time, the husband and wife were indeed extremely sad because of their eldest son. Dad, sorry I was trapped in a place and couldn't get out. I just got out. Right now I'm in South America. In a few hours I'll be home, said Luo Feng. Okay, don't rush. Your matter is more important, said Luo Hongguo. Suddenly, the door to the room opened. Luo Hua, wearing a cotton sweater, was holding a cup of milk that he just made and walked in. Don't worry, Dad. Everything's been taken care of. I'll be back soon. Is everything okay at home? The voice from the phone made Luo Hua, who was holding the cup of milk, freeze. Bro. Luo Hua opened his eyes wide in disbelief and almost started crying. The 2 nurses on the side were shocked. They clearly knew how powerful this Mr. Luo Hua was. He was the 8th largest shareholder of China's largest bank, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. His assets exceeded 100 billion. The people that go in and out of his home are all powerful people in politics and business, as well as people from the country's special forces. Even they were sent by the country's special forces to take care of Luo Hua's father. How could such a powerful person cry all of a sudden? It's okay. Everything's okay at home. Everything's okay when you come back, said Luo Hongua. Okay, I'll be back soon. The phone hung up. Luo Hua walked to his father and said in disbelief, Dad, bro called? Bro didn't die? He'll be home in a few hours, said Luo Hongua. Ha 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 ha. Luo Hua seemed to be crying and laughing. I knew that bro would be fine, he would be fine. Ever since he was young, Luo Feng was like a towering tree that protected him. He even became a fighter to earn money so that he could stand up again. Luo Hua was very grateful to his brother. In his life, his brother was extremely important. When news of Luo Feng's death came, his parents were sad and so was Luo Hua. However, he had to support this family. Before he was 20 years old, he had to fight with Liao and deal with all kinds of old foxes. Luo Hua was indeed very tired. In a cafe in Kyoto headquarters city, Su Xian was sitting on the sofa in the cafe. In front of her was an ultra-thin laptop. On the laptop was a photo of her and Luo Feng. In the photo, Luo Feng was smiling exaggeratedly like a big kid. Su Xian tapped on the screen and opened a folder. Holding a cup of hot coffee, Su Xian silently looked at the photos in the folder. Hello, can I borrow your phone? Smiled a handsome young man as he walked over. Su Xian glanced at him with a cold gaze. After that, she looked back at the laptop and didn't say anything. The handsome young man slightly frowned. However, when he saw the photo on the laptop, which was taken by Su Xian and Luo Feng on top of an extremely tall building in the wilderness, the handsome young man turned around and left. He couldn't help but to curse in his heart. Damn, she already has a boyfriend. Even the cabbage gets eaten by a pig. Jim, that's not right. The background of the photo seems to be a deserted city and monsters? A couple taking a couple's photo in a city in the wilderness? I saw wrong, the handsome young man couldn't believe it. And at this time, the sad music sounded. This made the handsome young man turn his head in confusion. Such a sad music as a ringtone? Su Xian, who was on the sofa, trembled. This music was a ringtone she specially set for Luo Feng's number. She took out her phone and answered. Su Xian, it's me. In an instant, the layer of ice that sealed Su Xian's heart melted. Exit of the underground headquarters. Luo Feng, who was wearing a black casual shirt and carrying an enormous backpack, smiled as he looked at the two flowing lights in the sky. After making the two calls, Luo Feng relaxed quite a bit. The one flying in front of the two flowing lights was Luo Feng's Emperor-level autojet. After leaving the archaeological ruin, Luo Feng ordered the autojet. The autojet immediately flew over. Him? That's... Luo Feng looked at the blood-red triangular fighter jet beside him. The two fighter jets landed at the same time. The cabin door opened and a flight of stairs extended out. The black-clothed Hong was the first to walk out. Following behind him was a personal guard, Yao Rao, and an inspector, Lu Ha. Head Luo Feng slightly bowed. Good, you didn't disappoint me. The black-clothed man Hong directly walked in front of Luo Feng. His eyes seemed to see through Luo Feng, and I can feel that you're different from before, Luo Feng. You must have gained quite a bit in this 1 year and 3 months. Let's go, we'll talk after we board. Yes. Luo Feng was very clear on the head strength. Star Traveler level 6 stage. However, because he has a domain, even Star Traveler level 9 stage fighters aren't his match. He's invincible within the Star Traveler level. The difference between the Star Traveler level 1 representatives and the head strength. Just like the difference between a beginner level warrior and an invincible war god. And the difference between him and the head was indeed very large. The prehistoric level autojet was in front, the Emperor level autojet followed behind. And within the prehistoric level autojet, the black-clothed man Hong, Luo Feng, Allure and Lu Ha sat in a circle of seats. Luo Feng, you have the translation software, so how did you stay in Archaeological Ruin number 9 for 1 year and 3 months? The black-clothed man Hong looked at Luo Feng. Did you discover some of the mysteries of Archaeological Ruin number 9? As the number 1 person on Earth, he received a few inheritances of archaeological ruins, so there are very few things that can pique his curiosity. And Archaeological Ruin number 9 is one of them. Yes, Luo Feng nodded. What mysteries can you tell me? The black-clothed man Hong looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng was very clear that the bald crystal person deleted all the information from his tactical communications watch because he didn't want the humans on Earth to know its mysteries. Only the members of the Yun Mo planet have the right to know. Because my brain expanse is relatively high, I triggered a special death mission, said Luo Feng half-truthfully. Death mission. Everyone was a bit shocked. The black-clothed man Hong asked, is the reward the same as the other war gods? There should be a difference. In the past, everyone who entered Archaeological Ruin number 9 and succeeded received a black god set. There is a difference. Not only did I receive a black god set, but I also received a spirit reader training method, said Luo Feng. Oh, the black-clothed man Hong was a bit disappointed. He is a fighter. He has to put all his energy into his martial path. As of now, according to Hong's understanding of the universe, even though he is a Star Traveler level 6, his level in the martial path is extremely high. Many star level fighters don't even have their own domain. With a domain he is invincible within the Star Traveler level. With such a high level in the martial path, he naturally won't waste time training his spiritual force. Archaeological Ruin number 9 within the dark brown maze. The bald crystal person whose body was faintly glowing walked step by step. LuoFeng indeed didn't talk about what happened in the ruins. The bald crystal person had a bit of a human's melancholy, as he sighed. Master, it's been 50,000 years. I haven't been able to contact you for 50,000 years. Even though 50,000 years have passed, as a brain, it can only follow the most basic program and filter out war gods.